There are relationships that leave a mark. And then there are those that leave a wound so deep it feels like the self has been erased. This isn't heartbreak. This is destruction, carried out in silence, wrapped in the illusion of affection, and disguised as love. This is narcissistic abuse. This video is a reckoning, a call to clarity for those who've felt the slow erosion of self-worth, the confusion that comes from being emotionally manipulated, and the grief of waking up to a life built on deception. It's not just about surviving. It's about understanding, confronting, and reclaiming. Every word here is written for you, the one who stayed too long, the one still doubting what really happened, the one trying to piece yourself back together in the aftermath. This is your mirror, your guide, and your proof that you are not alone. What happened was real. What comes next is yours to choose. 1. The hidden battle behind closed doors. Narcissistic abuse doesn't leave bruises that others can see. It lives in the silence between apologies you shouldn't have made, in the tension of always walking on eggshells, in the moments you forgot how to trust your own thoughts. This form of abuse doesn't just damage your emotions, it attacks your reality. Over time, you begin to question your instincts, dismiss your pain, and lose connection to what's true. You replay conversations endlessly. You wonder if you overreacted. You ask if maybe it was your fault. This isn't forgetfulness, it's erosion. Your inner compass, once so clear, becomes distorted under the weight of subtle control and repeated invalidation. The most dangerous part? From the outside, everything might look fine. That's how deeply the illusion was crafted. 2. Telling the hard truth. Healing doesn't begin with comfort. It begins with truth, not the softened truth, not the kind that makes excuses for someone else's behavior, but the hard, painful kind, the kind that forces you to stop calling it a toxic relationship and start calling it what it was: abuse. When someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, manipulates your emotions, and leaves you questioning your own sanity, that's not complicated. That's intentional harm. Language matters. Euphemisms keep you stuck. Naming what happened gives you the ground to rebuild from. This isn't about revenge. It's not about blaming. It's about restoring order in a world where chaos has ruled for too long. 3. You are not what was done to you. For a long time, your identity may have been shaped around surviving, getting through the day, managing the emotional temperature of someone else, minimizing your own needs. But that's not who you are. That's who you became to survive. Survival is only the beginning. There comes a point where clinging to pain becomes another form of captivity. You are more than what was lost, more than the moments you tolerated, more than the version of yourself that was molded by fear. Letting go of victimhood doesn't mean denying what happened. It means refusing to let the abuser win twice, first in hurting you, and then in defining who you get to be. 4. Small steps, big shifts. There's a harsh truth that holds a strange kind of freedom. No one is coming to save you. This isn't said to shame. It's said to empower. Because once that truth is accepted, every small act of care you take becomes an act of rebellion. Making your bed, cooking a meal, turning off your phone. These are not meaningless tasks. They are declarations. I still have control over my life. No change feels dramatic at first, but brick by brick, you build something real. Discipline isn't punishment. It's what holds you up when everything else falls apart. in those quiet acts of self-respect. You remind yourself, I matter. 5. Grieving, what never truly was. Loss isn't always about the end of something real. Sometimes the deepest grief comes from what you believed was real. The dream you held on to, the version of love you thought existed, the time and energy invested in a lie. There's also grief for the version of yourself who stayed, the one who kept believing, hoping, trying. That grief is sacred. Let it come. You cannot rush healing by skipping grief. Transformation requires mourning, not just the person, but the illusion. Something in you died, and something else is waiting to be born. But the new self can only rise when the old one has been gently laid to rest. 6. Silence is the enemy of truth. One of the most damaging legacies of narcissistic abuse is the voice it plants inside your head. The one that says, you should have known better. You weren't enough. You caused this. Those words didn't come from you. They were put there. Over time, through guilt, gaslighting, and psychological warfare. They lose their power when you speak them out loud. When you bring them into the light, shame thrives in secrecy. Truth dissolves it. You are not broken. You were manipulated. You were trained to believe things that were never true. That internal narrative is not permanent. You can rewrite it, one truth at a time. 7. Boundaries aren't barriers, they're lifelines. After narcissistic abuse, setting boundaries can feel like aggression. Saying no can feel like abandonment. But boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about keeping yourself intact. Boundaries protect your energy, your peace, your values. They are not selfish. They are survival. Every time you say no to something harmful, you say yes to your own worth. Some people won't like your boundaries. That's okay. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your safety is. 8. Let the illusion die. Narcissistic abuse often begins with a story, a perfect connection, a magnetic attraction, a flood of validation. It's easy to romanticize those early days, but the truth is, the manipulation started then. The charm was the mask. Letting go means surrendering the fantasy. It means stopping the search for closure from someone who was never honest to begin with. The answers you want will never come from them. They will come from within, when you ask not what they did, but what you ignored, what you wanted to believe, and how you can stop that cycle from repeating. Letting go of illusion is not failure, it's freedom. 9. Taking back what's yours. Healing doesn't mean changing others. It means claiming full ownership of your mind, your emotions, your space. You are no longer responsible for managing someone else's mood, desires, or perception of you. You do not owe access to your heart to anyone who treated it like it was disposable. Emotional sovereignty means no longer begging to be seen. It means standing in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then. The more responsibility you take for your healing, the more unshakable you become. 10. Purpose is the path forward. Surviving abuse builds walls. It's a natural response to pain. But staying behind those walls forever means missing the life still waiting for you. There comes a point when pain must be given a purpose. Maybe it's creating something. Maybe it's helping someone else. Maybe it's simply becoming a person you respect. Purpose doesn't erase what happened. It transforms it. Pain becomes a fuel, a teacher, a compass. This isn't just recovery. This is redirection. This is legacy. 11. You are becoming. You are not going back to who you were before. That version is gone, and that's not a tragedy. It's an opening. You are becoming someone new, someone with deeper strength, someone with clearer values, someone who knows how to say no, how to live in alignment, how to choose integrity over comfort. The chaos won't vanish overnight, but you will begin to feel steady. The noise fades. What remains is you, whole, sovereign, and real. A gentle ending. The road out of narcissistic abuse is long. It is not linear. It is not easy, but it is sacred. Every moment of clarity, every boundary you enforce, every truth you speak is a step toward the life you were always meant to live. You were never too sensitive, never too much. You were simply in an environment that taught you to question your worth. Now, the story is changing. Not because of them, but because of you. This isn't just healing. This is rebirth. This is power reclaimed. And in that space, peace is possible.